So the first question is, why is there item limit in why is there limit in item exchanges player to player? Maybe we should tell everybody a little bit why we're live streaming here first.
It's mostly because there's going to be a ton of people that miss this.
Well, but the whole premise leading up to this is this whole strike. This is like a reaction from Fun Plus to the community. Whether or not it works or not, because we are 3 minutes into this thing and we haven't had one question answered yet. And we've got 2 more questions up.
Yeah, the kingdom merges.
We have 27 minutes left. And nobody's moderating this.
Why can't they bring back some faces of attacking invaders outside the forest? I don't know, I always thought they should. I thought they should have it open kingdom. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like that. I mean, but I came from Game of War, and Game of War had open kingdom. So that's what I was brought. This style of gaming. So I always liked that type of PvP aspect. I mean, it was to where the little guys could do stuff too. I mean, if you weren't Game of War, you have wonders. Unlike the wonders we have, they're called their Palace of Wonders. So you'd have all the bigs fighting for the wonders. Then you'd have all your littles going and hitting all the dead hives and the farms and stuff like that. I mean, that's one thing I liked about Game of War that Guns of Glory actually does not have.
Right, and I've heard the same thing. Like, once they took the fact that you could not attack any invaders outside the forest, that completely changed the dynamic of Kingdom versus Kingdom in Guns of Glory, because it never used to be that way.
No, it's just rally after rally. I mean, all it is rally fights. Who has the best stats? I mean, there's really no... I mean, there's a little bit of tactics to it. I mean, troop formations and shit like that. I mean, but it's... Whoever spent the most money for the best stats is going to win. I mean, that's all it boils down to.
So, I wonder when are the answers going to come here? We're 5 minutes into this thing, and we haven't seen any answers yet.
I don't even see an admin.
I thought this was a Q&A chat, not a Q chat, not a question chat, a Q&A chat. When are the developers? Where are the developers? Who are the developers? Oh, Mike Ping, he's an administrator. Can we tag Mike Ping, I wonder? Can we at him?
It says that name, so yeah.
Yeah, we can. So we should start at Mike Ping, if anybody's listening and happens to be in the chat. We should be adding him. Like,
So it says, or is it just about posting on the group?
Vernon, I mean, come on, man. Like, you guys are moderating this. Why didn't you guys, Vernon, why didn't you guys tell us that you guys were going to be moderating this? Because I was in the Guns of Glory Discord server 2 hours ago asking how this was going to work.
So it's just normal mods answering the question?
No, nobody's answering anything.
Well, Vernon is a mod, right?
Yeah,
Just
well, I'm currently answering your question, so maybe that's it. See, I was in the Discord I was in the Guns of Glory Discord server, and I was asking.
So it's the same as Discord.
About how
Discord.
this is going to play out. And I mean, I can grab a screenshot if I need to, and about the mods knew nothing.
Can you drop a picture in here? Add files. Guys, look at the original post.
What original post?
They've already started replying. This chat is not for your questions. Then what's this chat?
What is he talking about? So, just as we predicted.
So, I don't even know what this chat is now.
Oh, this is
I have no clue.
This is just a straight up mess.
Mike Pink's here. He's the admin of GOG, so. Where's the Q&A? He said on the post. Look under the post on the page.
I can't see it anywhere, dude. What? Under the post on the page. On the about post? There's nothing on the about screen.
Is it just the...
There it is. I found it. So go to the Q&A. Like the original group page on the about section of the Q&A. And it says 9 minutes ago they said Q&A time. We will start replying to your questions now. Please remember this live Q&A will last for 30 minutes.
Alright, I'm totally fucking missing it.
Get out of the messenger, bro.
Yeah, I'm out of the messenger. I'm back on Guns of Glory's main page.
So P. Hello, Tracy. First off, what do you think of smaller microchip updates? Let's see what the replies are. We are working on updating our game faster this year, and hopefully, faster. We will get 2 or 3 updates you mentioned per month. Special wonders. More things to buy. And they're going to come out faster.
Call me stupid, but I can't find this shit.
Alright. Go back to the link.
Yeah, I'm to the original link.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back at the original link.
Get out of your messenger altogether.
Yeah, I'm out of the messenger.
Alright. So, what you want to look at is on the left where it says Guns of Glory Q&A closed group.
Yep.
On the left.
Yeah, I see that.
Go about. Don't go to discussion. Go to Guns of Glory post.
About Guns of Glory posts. Fucking hate Facebook.
I'll send you a screenshot.
Q&A time. I guess that's right here. Just this. 46 comments. I guess I found it. You'll start replying. Please revisit it.
Yep.
Please remember this Q&A. Please remember to be polite. All right. So now we're there. So they're just doing it on a post. So we're way the hell down here now.
Oh, well, they talked about, somebody asked about packages. Are packages cheaper in Korea than USA, or are they richer? Packages are the same price. However, the currency sometimes may influence the price in certain areas. Are you going to return Catacombs to the way it was?
So who's the one replying?
Guns of Glory is replying.
Why am I not seeing a reply?
Dear Sky, part of the idea was to offer more benefits for players by the Catacomb system, but any Feedback and suggestions will be taken into consideration and affect our future development plans. You know what? I'm going to say something here, man. This is actually not too bad. People are getting their questions in. Nobody's trolling. They're really slow on their replies.
I think they're running down the list, is the way it looks.
Nope.
No,
there's no replies.
Oh, there's some, like 10 minutes ago.
Since a question that was asked 10 minutes
Change
ago.
climbing system rewards or catacombs.
And since that last question by Skylav, there hasn't been any questions answered to since.
So is there a way to increase level 7 tiles in the kingdom? Hi, the devs read the demands for the striking kingdoms. We need rewards that are comparable to the items. I mean, there's 1,000 questions. I mean, everybody has good questions.
Alice, G-O-G. So Alice said, oh, so she's not from Guns of Glory. That's her Guns of Glory Facebook. Sorry, I'm scrolling down the list. I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
Hello. I'm just down near the bottom where Tom Lucas asked, and then the last two guys in Russian or Swedish. Russian, I'm gonna guess. See translation. Polish. I was way off. It was 1 minute ago. Polish.
Well, maybe I need to refresh because I'm not seeing.
I've been refreshing about every 30 seconds to a minute.
Good copy. Oh, okay. So we'll see more comments every time we refresh.
Yeah.
We should see more replies. Oh yeah, and you're right. It looks like they're kind of picking and choosing the questions that they're going to answer.
I'm still not seeing that many that they've answered. Like Mary Wells asked, silver extremely hard to build up by gathering. Will we see silver in the red guards, and will the red guards and beats be upgraded to a higher level? Maria Kingdom 253, and then they wrote, this is most likely to happen in the future. Updates for sure. This was 4 minutes ago by them.
There's one by David McDaniel a little further down. Why did you change the floor climbing system and rewards in catacombs to a new system? Hi David, thank you for the feedback. We optimize it to bring balance in catacombs so more players are able to participate and get benefits. And I'd just like to say one of the key things, bones of contention, that I've personally seen in the Guns of Glory Discord server over the last, 2 weeks since this latest update dropped, is people hate the new catacombs, like across the board. There's a few players that like it and enjoy it, especially the ones that are used to it from the former King of Avalon players, because they're used to it. But it's, from what I understand, of course I'm not playing the game anymore, but from what I understand, it drastically reduced how far a player could go in the catacombs and the rewards that they were getting from that. So as a result of that, for the players that aren't spending a ton, it's becoming harder and harder for them to gain premium items through the catacombs. And I think that's a key component in the game, is being able to appease not only the big spenders, who probably, some of them probably enjoy the challenge because it's way harder, and some that, don't mind mind spending a whole bunch of money on Catacombs. Because I don't know what your life was like for Catacombs. I kind of hated that minigame. It was a horrible minigame in my opinion.
Yeah, I never really played Catacombs that much. I mean, I I just like basic gear to being like the top 5 in our kingdom, but I mean that was it. I didn't try to go any higher than that.
I didn't spend on Catacombs at all. You know, I was more concerned about getting actual stats that would help me in battle. You know, so when I did spend, that's where it went. Why do you have feedback channels if you don't listen to feedback? I would love somebody to ask the question, can we please have more developers in the Guns of Glory Discord server?
People also new level beasts and red guards.
Mr. Brospore, Kingdom 130. How are you, sir? I'm not sure if your microphone's on. Bro, are you there? I can't hear him.
I mean, he's talking, but it's not popping up. Like I see it going green.
Does he need to be prioritized? Is he like a wrong level or something?
No, I mean, it's just an open chat. It should just pop up. I can add a roll just to make sure. Water packages cost the same.
But here's the thing. Like, what I'm seeing here is more of the same.
It's the same questions I've always been asked in Discord.
Polite answers that you get from customer service. Cookie cutter responses. Is that how you're getting this?
I'm not even seeing that many responses. I mean, when's the last response you see?
Great question. Let me refresh, my friend. So we're 20 minutes into this, people. I would really like...
I mean, like my last comment I'm seeing is from Russell Dando.
Yeah. I would really like somebody to ask about what...
This would have been better through the chat, the way they had it through the chat, because it would have been more live instead of answering on comments.
Well, I guess maybe they can go back and come back to the comments and answer them as they go and create some sort of fluid dialogue after. I'll be honest, like I kind of thought it was interesting when they first started this, with the format that's going, but it looks to me like it's the same cookie cutter responses that customer service gives, that absolutely everybody hates. One moment, I gotta... All right. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything gear
They're all out of the
meaningful?
point.
I'm not saying anything here meaningful. No meaningful responses anywhere. So we've got a question that just rolled in at the bottom. One moment.
So Russell put, what is your opinion on the 220 plus kingdom striking?
Where's that?
1 minute ago, down near the
there
bottom.
it is.
There's GOG info. Can you do this Q&A monthly?
I purchased. Oh, so Russell, scroll up a little bit.
Oh, I purchased a full Sun King.
I purchased full Sun King when it came out. 1 month later, it was half price. I did the same thing for Demon Hunter. This gear is out of control, and soon we will see 2,500% stats if this game is if in the game if this is controlled. I think he meant.
No, that's true. I mean, whenever Demon Gear came out and I purchased it, I mean, it lasts for, I'm just gonna guess and say 3 months, 2.5
between Demon Hunter and Retribution.
Yep. So I mean, it lasts. I mean, but Sun Gear, like I bought it the day it came out, plus one it, and the next update, I mean, it was already, like you said, I mean, it was already on discount.
Here's a good one. Clifton Harris says, why does my kingdom in 106 fight against the same kingdom for the past 6 weeks? I'm a top Guns of Glory player. He is Luke Skywalker in Kingdom 106.
It's always been 6 weeks.
No, they changed it, bro. It was 4 weeks, and then they went down to 2 weeks, and now they're down to it changing every single week.
See, I haven't even done Kingdom vs. Kingdom, so it's changing every week now?
Yeah.
Oh, but that kingdom right there is still doing the same one for the past 6 weeks.
They've had the same matchup every flip. So every other kingdom is getting flipped.
And they're not.
And that one is.
Well, we went through the same kingdom for 12 weeks once. A while back, Kingdom 113 did. We had the same matchup for 12 straight weeks.
Oh my goodness. These are just cookie cutter, cut and paste responses.
Did you find another response?
I did. I found one response 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes
so we're
ago?
25 minutes into this, and I think I've counted 10 questions that they've answered.
10 minutes ago.
Alrighty, folks. If you got questions, just keep typing. Maybe these guys will answer them in the days or weeks to come. I don't expect any sort of depth or a conversation about your questions. You are going to get a 2 or 3 line response with a smiley face emoji at the end of each of your questions. Doesn't that sum it up, though?
Yeah.
I just did a refresh. Let's see if we got anything new.
Is there a possibility to post all error codes, what they're up to?
Well, that's an interesting post. Nice post, Your Jaron Jacobs, because I've, since I left Guns of Glory in July, I've had the opportunity to test a whole bunch of different games because I'm a lot like you, Evic. I heard you say on your live stream earlier today or yesterday, whenever that was, when you were talking about the strike, that you're like a kind of like a one game at a time kind of guy.
Yeah, I normally do.
I'm kind of the same way. So if I don't have a super fancy computer where I can play computer games, I'm kind of stuck on mobile. And in the time, since I left Guns of Glory, I, took the time to educate myself because the time that I was playing it, I learned what I liked, I learned what I didn't like, and I kind of knew what I wanted to look for. And so I kind of went on like this massive big hunt to find a new game, and so I tried like probably 25 games in the same genre as Guns of Glory. I finally found one. And something that was interesting in a couple games that I played was that anytime there was an error code in the game, there was a button on that error code to send a report to the developers, which is pretty cool. And inside your, I guess, castle profile, you could submit feedback inside your castle that would actually earn you rewards. There was another one that was an ongoing event inside your castle where you could give them feedback or suggestions or post bug reports and get rewards for it, which I thought was pretty cool. You got any comments on your stream? Is anybody?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's talking on the stream. HVO's actually on there. I mean, like Scott's out 255. Why don't the devs talk to each other and resolve the issue? 13 days to get back into an account and lose everything and then refuse to reimburse me for the losses are uncalled for. I mean, that shit's happened to me for a couple $100, if not a couple $1,000. Whenever you're mass buying, they all don't come in.
All right, I want you to stay on that window real quick. I'm going to jump in this messenger because my messenger is
turn the volume up. Tricky Pigs tell me to turn my volume up. On me or on Phoenix? Tricky?
Oh, I can speak louder. I got no problem speaking louder.
It's probably me. I mean, let me sit fucking up closer to my mic. He says it's both of us. I mean, I got my mic turned all the way up. Go to settings. Like I said, I just started doing this, so I'm fucking playing around with all these settings. Is that any better?
No, that's the same.
He said turn it up on tricky. So audio. How about that on tricky? All right, so now I turned it up on you.
On me?
Yeah, I think it was yours. I actually did have you turned on low.
Oh. All right, I can't see it in that screen, so I'm going to...
But it seems like they stopped answering questions.
I think they might be answering questions in the chat now.
Are they back in the chat again, or no?
No. People are trolling inside the chat.
He said, yeah, they stopped at 7:15 a.m.
They're cutting and pasting the "Hello, Musketeer. Thank you for contacting Guns of Glory support. We truly appreciate your feedback, and we took the liberty of forwarding your message
yeah, because it's
for further consideration. As always, we are listening, willing to listen to any ideas that you have to improve the app. Best of luck on your future adventures, Guns of Glory team." Yeah, people are just trolling. I saw that pop up in my notifications.
HBO says, I'll roast them on Discord now. I found one that was 14 minutes ago that I didn't see before. It says, could you reduce all the 1 to 5 second animations in the game? I don't want to wait 5 seconds for collecting a tribute or to set a bank deposit. And they actually answered them. We will consider that. Is there any more specific animations except bank one? I mean, they ask generic questions that, I mean, have absolutely nothing to do with what the strike's about.
Oh, well, we are 32 minutes in here. Let's see if they keep this rolling, if they keep answering questions, or if they are done. If they're going to close this thing down. They've allowed 535 people into the group.
206 comments so far.
Oh, here's an interesting. Did you see the post that Evic?
Or the HBO?
Did you see the post that Evic posted on your Discord?
You mean HBO posted?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm tired? Yeah, that HBO posted.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of how quickly these updates are being pushed. We have had 2 years of KOA updates.
Pushed in the last 6 months.
In less than 6 months. There is no way we should only be 2 updates behind King of Avalon. And so the reply was, starting this year, Guns of Glory will go its own directions regarding functions, events, and sales.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Well, you heard it there first, folks. Let's see if that actually happens. And I hope that the community can hold the developers accountable for statements.
I mean, I guess we'll see when they start. I mean, it says this year. I mean, so I guess we should start seeing on our next update or the update after that if we start going our own direction. If we're actually getting stuff that KOA doesn't have, and does KOA start getting things that we don't have instead of just a reskin and a different name? I mean, actual events per game, not events from both.
Oh my goodness.
Hugo just chopped in.
Hugo's on the chat.
Yes, he is.
I'm going to ask Hugo and HBO if they want to join the broadcast.
Oh my god.
So for those of you that don't know what's going on, we're taking a look at Evic's Discord server.
So how long do you plan on updating game or supporting it? Will there ever be advertising? Will there ever be advertising in the game? He's watching the fan page only, so he's watching Guns and Glory's Q&A. And how does he know we're giving him a hard time? Because neither me or HBO are actually posting on their fan page. It comes on Facebook. So I'm going to go with they're pretty much done answering questions. I don't think they're going to go through here and answer anymore.
Well, let's ask Hugo if they're done.
I mean, they might go through here and scan through and answer some. I'm hoping they do.
Oh, Hugo's done answering our questions.
Yeah, he left.
Maybe he's gone to find our YouTube broadcast. If that's the case. Hello out there in the Guns of Glory office. Thank you for tuning in. How many comments did you say you're seeing? I'm seeing 127 comments.
On the Facebook?
Yeah.
229, or it's saying 229 comments, but whenever I hit view, it's 127. 100. Yeah, it stops at 127 though. Like, I'm not getting any further.
Commenting has been turned off for the post.
That's
so they are officially done. Let's see how many answers.
Where did you see that? Oh, right there at the bottom. Commenting has been turned off.
So there was 127. There was 127 questions asked in a 30-ish minute period.
Yeah, and so that was pretty much it.
What I do like is the fact that all of these have been recorded. So maybe they're going to scroll back. It would have been nice to have some more information on how this was going to roll out and how this is going to play out.
Yeah, you're counting how many were actually answered, right, Phoenix?
I can do that. Give me one
second. Yeah, Harris Painting was actually asking, would someone count? He's like, will you guys count?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, past that 1 star. I think that 1 star helps more than anything. I mean, at least that's what Rev's saying. I don't follow KOA that much to know. I mean, has Rev made a big enough push to get KOA fixed or not? I mean, I have no earthly idea. I mean, Phoenix might know. Phoenix talks to them a lot more than I do.
I'm counting.
Yeah, I know. Well, spam passed. Yeah, see, so Hugo's saying the same thing. Maybe they'll go through and just answer some throughout the post, so I'll just have to keep track of it.
I count 33 answered, so they were able to do 1 a minute.
Can I get a screenshot of the reply I got to you? A screenshot of what reply, Scott's?
Here's one that I really want to read, because this is a common sentiment to everybody that I've spoken that plays this game. Jeremy Davidson says, "Your customer support team sucks. We wait days on an answer, and then a lot of times it doesn't even go with the question asked." And their response: "Hi Jeremy, I'm sorry to hear that you have encountered this issue from our customer service team. To provide good service is very important to us, and we will do our best to provide the best service to our players. We are planning to send out more surveys in the game to check how we can improve. Thank you very much for your feedback, as this is very important to us."
Where are you pulling that from?
Jeremy Davidson.
Oh.
I'll screenshot it for you and drop it in your server. 17 minutes ago. and you know what Jeremy said? "Oh, look, a copy and paste answers. The that you put in your answers. This is pathetic. All right, so there's the question and the answer. Let me jump over to your Discord server.
No, they do, Scouts. They don't answer real questions. They answer, like I said, the ones I was seeing. They were answering the questions that not what this strike was all about.
Well, we haven't even got to the strike yet. I mean,
no, but there were a few people that were asking questions about it and stuff like that, and nobody even said anything about it.
Yeah.
And then another comment on there was, don't forget what this is actually all about. Let me see if I can even find them. Where's it at? Right here. I can't speak his name because it's in Korean. Don't you have anything to do with the Korean language? No, I guess this is not it. This English Q&A should be in Korean short. I swore that was his name. The same person that typed it. Right here. They're all out of the point. I think we all forgot why we're doing this.
Well, let me tell you something. I honestly don't think we have seen anything in this live stream Q&A session that has or will resolve any of the issues.
I think they're just wanted to see how many people actually got on here and cared, maybe. I have no earthly idea. I mean...
Oh, there's 500 people in this chat. You know?
Yeah, 500 people and
27 questions that were asked. I think people went to the wrong room. They went to the chat room rather than...
Yeah, it took me, but like I said, you had to walk me through it and call me Facebook stupid or whatever.
It took us 9 minutes to find it, dude. You know, but mind you, I never log into Facebook.
How many kingdoms are on strike? Right now there are... This is the last one. This is the last update. So as of right now, and this was at 2:30 UTC, there was 223 total that said they're going to strike. I mean, everything in yellow is going to strike. Everything in white, I don't think they've got okays with yet. So hopefully some more of the whites will actually chip in.
There's more.
And there's more than this, right?
There's more coming in minute by minute and, you know, hour by hour, like as this spreads and as people get more and more on board. You know what, there's some players and, you know, some kingdoms out there, they just want to kill stuff, man. This game is meant to be like a fun escape for people.
No, yeah, it's about the community. I mean, the game is not like it's, I mean, the game's good and shit, don't get me wrong. I mean, but it's more about the friends you make, the connections you make. I mean, it's really about the friends.
Well, that's the only reason I keep hanging around all of the Guns of Glory folks, because I've made so many great friends.
How are they going to strike? I mean, how they're not going to strike? I mean, they make so much money by what people spend healing and everything else. I mean, and what people spend just fighting. I mean, with everybody not fighting, it's, if everybody doesn't fight, it's going to be, they're going to see a big difference in their what they make on this weekend's KVK compared to what they normally make every KVK. I mean, it's a business. I mean, that's all Fun Plus is. I mean, it's a numbers game to them. So they're running these events and everything else to make money. They're not running them for us or anything like that. I mean, so, and they're going to change the game to whatever makes them the most money as of right now, unless we can get them to change or they decide to go a different way.
Yeah, this is... So, can I digress a little bit and kind of go back to how this whole thing evolved a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you mind? So, as everybody knows, well, for those of you that don't know who I am, I did a bunch of YouTube videos when I was playing Guns of Glory, a lot like Vic Notice was doing YouTube videos, and we kind of got inspired by, you know, guys like Revenge Gamer and KOA Follower and like the original YouTubers back in the day, and I ended up quitting in July. You know, for my own personal reasons, I saw Retribution gear come out.
I was missing your whole name out.
I was just like, this is never gonna end. And so I kind of made my decision, waited for the opportunity to bow out, went out in a blaze of glory, put my castle in limbo, and said, adios, folks. But with that being said, I've stayed connected to my friends, and probably about 4 months ago, you know, my YouTube subscriptions kind of
zoom back in on the strike board.
Said, how can we come ask you questions? How can we chat with you? So I started my own, just super small, and people started trickling in, and I started posting. Thanks for going to my page, by the way. I started, you know, chatting with people in my little Discord server. In the meantime, I started helping out a bunch of, you know, really big players with some of the experience that I'd gained from my time playing the game, because, you know, I wasn't a big, by any stretch of the imagination, but I was you know, and I knew how to build stuff, and I studied, and I talked to people, and you know, absolutely loved that part of the game. And I think that kind of came across in the videos that I did. And so we were in a few chat groups with you know, 100 players in one room, and you know, 80 players in another room, and 20 players in another room. And I was helping these guys out. You know, I would stay quiet for most of the time, but if there was a subject that I could comment on, I definitely. And then this update, the last update, where they kind of completely reworked the catacombs, introduced the new Sun King equipment. This is the very same update where players started leaving King of Avalon en masse. And so I kind of started taking a peek in the Discord server, and it was nothing but trolls. And then, about a week ago, I got a message in one of the chat rooms that I was in that basically all of the big players, like almost all of the top 100 players in all of the kingdoms, whom are in a chat room together. I'm not sure if you were you ever in that room, Evic?
Which one?
It was in line.
I know, I don't really get online. I'm on one group. It's actually called Top 10 Monsters or Top 100 Monsters, the one I was showing today. Well, that was like one of the first groups I was ever on in KOAT or GOG, and it's grown a lot since I was first there.
Well, that's in-game, right?
Yeah, that's in-game. Yep.
Okay. So a private chat room in-game. And so these guys evolved that to be a line group. And the last thing is for people listening to the live stream is to ask, because these are the top spenders in the game. So, and you know how much it costs to be a top spender in the game. What did you say that you had into this thing?
I mean, it's 100K, whether people believe it or not. I mean, but easily 100K, right around that. I mean, it's between 90 and 110, no more than that.
You weren't even close.
I could never break into the top 100. I was like 101, 110, 109. Like I said, the only thing I could break into the top 100 on was kill event or kills, and that was it. I mean, but out of that 100K, I mean, I fucked up and did some stupid shit. I mean, but most of my 50K went to fucking troops. I mean, I was spending $3-4 grand just on healing troops back when I was losing them. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, but I did the same thing on Game of War too. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a hobby. I mean, it still is a hobby. I mean, I'm a gamer by life. If I want to spin it here, I'll just spin it somewhere else. So I mean, that's the way I see it.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that, and that was one of the reasons why these guys decided to take action on KVK specifically, because most of these guys are dropping anywhere between.
They're dropping way more than me, way more.
$5,000 and $10,000, or more, $12,000 or $50,000 or $20,000. Sorry, on Kingdom versus Kingdom. Would you say that's an accurate statement?
These big dogs are dropping over $250,000, like no joke.
No. I'm talking about during KVK event, period.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know just the top people in ours were spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a week. Just me booming, shit, I can't even think, Ironside. I mean, just between the three of us, if we actually were fighting, I mean, I bet we dropped over 10 grand with just 3 people on just one day, 8 hours. I mean, maybe more sometimes.
Hey, sorry, Chris, that you can't quite hear us. I would hope that, I don't know.
I got everything turned up. I mean, as max as I can get. Like I said, I'm just now playing with this, so I'll try to get my streams better.
I listened to your broadcast earlier, and I had to put headphones in.
So it was soft? See, because when I listen to it on my PC, it sounds loud as shit.
I don't know. I'm on my Mac. I'm not. And I didn't listen to it on my mobile, but I don't know. You got real fancy speakers for your PC or what? You probably do. Don't
Well, yeah, I think it's not. Y'all aren't. The sound's not picking up from the speakers. It's picking up through OBS, and I really don't like OBS. Only reason I'm using OBS is because I couldn't get XSplit to actually work for some reason. It was not wanting to pull up GOG no more, and that's what I used to stream with was XSplit. But for some reason, it was not wanting to pull up GOG today, and so I just went back to OBS. Like XSplit, I pay for. OBS is freeware. I mean, I'll have to fine tune it. I mean, it took me long enough to be able to stream and not lag out. I mean, I've been working for the past, not working, but fighting this for, I'm going to say 3 weeks just to get one stream going. Just streaming myself and watching myself, just by myself, talking to myself. I mean, I didn't want to start a stream and it just crashed and everybody be like, what the fuck? What's going on? Shit like that.
Let me see if we can get Brospore in here. He's been one of the biggest leaders in this whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I had nothing to do with this strike, like nothing. So everybody knows. Like, I mentioned something needed to be done back in the past on a few of my videos, but I'm not the one that pushed this, that started talking to the other bigs. That was all somebody else. Like I said, I think Bro was the main person that started this.
Let me get back into a little bit of where this kind of came from. So I heard that these monsters, for lack of a better word, oh, he can't go on audio right now. I heard that these monsters were deciding to sit down, and so they put a vote in their room. And all the ones that voted, they basically unanimously said yes. And this is about 6 hours after they initiated the vote. And it was at that time. There's about 100 monsters in that room at that time. I'm not saying that every single one of the top 100 was represented in that room, but
a good amount.
There were there was a really big portion of the biggest players in the game in that room. Alcopocalypse was there, Rospor was there. I could run down the list for you if you want, and the reason why they decided to hit KVK with this sit down and not spin is because they felt like their voices weren't being heard. And they knew how much they spent each KVK, so they did a little bit of math. And they say, if we do this and we get everybody in our kingdom to do this, our kingdoms to do this, then that might make these guys listen.
No, well, I mean, you got to think, it's what, 220 kingdoms? I mean, at bare minimum, let's just say 10,000 a kingdom. I mean, that's $2 million.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's $2 million if nobody fights that they're not going to make on 8 hours on a Saturday.
Yep.
I mean, that's if only each kingdom spends 10, and there's got to be some people spending more than, some kingdoms spending more than $10,000. That's just one kingdom spending 10,000.
Yeah. So then there was a few really ambitious guys in that room, Brospor being one of them, Shar being another one of them, that decided to say, well, let's rattle the cages, let's rattle the swords, if we can get as many kingdoms as possible to join the cause. And that's when I heard about it, and I decided to kind of jump in and help these guys out, get organized, and started keeping a list of, who was actively deciding to participate, because at that point it was, no records. And so we started scrolling the chats, and then we started throwing links out in all these rooms. And then these guys started using the kingdom horns and getting, everybody, as many people in the game organized. And, I understand that there's a lot of people in the game that don't care. They just want to play, and they're happy to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that group of players, and one of them, one second.
So the one in KVK is up to date?
That's the last one that I got, and Bro has been
on it.
Bro he took over the list keeper duties from me, because he was busy the first couple days that this thing started going on. So I started helping Shar, and me and Shar kind of tag teamed it. Shar was rocking Facebook like crazy, and he was rocking Line, and people were posting like links in game, broadcasting links in game to in-game rooms, and then they would spam those rooms with the link to a Line page or my Discord server, and this thing kind of just blew up. And it's kind of been like a pretty cool phenomenon to see how this thing is taken off, because I had maybe 100, maybe 200 players from a few different games in my Discord server, and now I'm at over 1,000, so it's kind of crazy. But I welcome it. And so I told these guys, I said, my Discord server, I'm not playing your game. I'm not playing Guns of Glory. My Discord server is at your disposal to kind of act as a ground zero for whatever you guys need. And most of those guys, they're all Line folks, but there's a few that were super savvy with Discord, and they helped me out with it as well. So, but one of the key guys that this whole thing came of is Marcus Aurelius in Kingdom 115. And he is probably the second best stats in the game. And next, who is first? I think Judge is first. I don't know who Judge was. I never came up against him. I think judges maybe Kingdom 69 or something like that. But Marcus Aurelius basically kind of rallied the troops, and he doesn't talk much. He comes in, says 2-3 things a day, and kind of disappears. And I've had the opportunity to get on the phone with Marcus for over an hour a few days ago, and he had some really interesting insight, and something that you can attest to, Evic, is as well as I do, that if anybody spends $10,000 at any business, anywhere, I don't know what it's like in the Eastern world, but anywhere in the Western world, those salespeople and customer service will bend over backwards to make sure that customer is super, super happy.
No, they will. No, 100%. I mean, they will. I mean, I don't care if you're going to buy a couch or a freaking $100,000 car. I mean, they're going to be there for you. Or a $10,000 couch. I mean, $1,000 couch. I mean, they're there to make money and they're going to please you. I mean, but with mobile games is a little bit different. I think they just treat us as rotating trash. I mean, because most mobile gamers will play one game, they quit that game, they go to another game, and it's just a rotating cycle. So, and I just think they play on that for every well or two they lose, as long as they keep throwing out new kingdoms, they're going to gain another well or two.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Something that somebody told me by private message when this first thing started. They said, listen, this isn't going to go anywhere. These guys, they don't care about the whales. They don't care about player retention. What they care about is player starts. You get somebody started in that spending cycle. You get somebody started, you get them playing for 2-3 weeks, and they get acclimatized to, this style of game, and that's when they get hooked. And I've done lots of homework, a lot on YouTube, mostly on the internet, and I've got a channel. Next time that you are bored, don't want to play a game, and just kind of want to veg out, jump over to my server, and I got a channel in there called Pay to Win Mobile Scams. And I'm at about 15 videos on that channel now, of all YouTube videos, and it's all kind of like super informative stuff on the tactics that these mobile gaming companies use, and how it's very, very similar to, slot machines.
I mean, that's all it is. Yeah, I mean, it's just a slot machine. I mean, theoretically.
Lottery terminal.
Yeah.
So, I think you said that in your. Live stream earlier.
I mean,
would you rather do this, or would you rather just take, $10,000 and go throw it away? Or it might have been revenge. Throw it away at a casino. It was revenge.
Yeah, I think it was revenge.
He's had a few really poignant videos lately. So anyway, over the last couple days, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's been a few of us, quote unquote, representatives trying to get in the same room or have a conversation with the developers of this game to bring forward to them in a constructive manner some of the concerns that the players have. And there's some, buyer's remorse stuff that's kind of going on, but we don't want to kind of focus on that.
I mean, that's all fine. I'm fine and dandy with these bigs if they're getting extra packs. I mean, they fucking deserve it with what they're spending. I mean, some people might think I'm wrong. I mean, I never spend enough to where I think I deserve any of that. I mean, but with what they're spending, they should get something.
Well,
I mean, but the way, I mean, they are. I mean, what you get for placing in the catacombs, placing in all that stuff overall, I mean, those are good. Oh, they were good. I don't know about good anymore, but I mean, but stuff like that is worth it. I mean, but they should give more incentives that way, in my eyes.
Yeah, and well, and another, well, the thing that, you know, I don't understand is why don't these guys have, we know that their customer service, and I'll put it bluntly, is pretty much straight up trash.
No, their customer service is their mods. It's this right here. I mean, this is, where is it? I mean, this is customer service right here. All these green names, all these mods, right here. These 24 mods that are in-game players. I mean, and they try their best. I mean, they're no different than me, no different than you. I mean, they're no different. All they are is a player in game that sat through a class, a little Discord Q&A class, learned how to talk to customers, and I guess they can talk to the mods directly and stuff like that. I mean, but that's really all it is. I mean, this is our customer support more than anything. And most of the time, they can't answer you.
But in many ways, yes. But anytime there's an issue that a player has, what do the mods do? They refer that player to fill out a form on customer service. On their in-game customer service reporting form. And we know the responses that people get. They're all cookie cutters. I would reckon that it's some sort of AI program that just kind of reads it and just kind of sends back a response, because players have basically said, you know, this looks like it's cut and paste from King of Avalon. Players have said, this has absolutely nothing to do with the question that I asked. So we offered to the mods, to the S mods, to numerous players. Revenge Gamer was trying to help us out to get a group of 5 players. Yes, we selected the players. 2 came out of the monster room. 2 came out of another big chat room that we're in. And a couple other players had some experience in the tech industry, and they helped us formulate a summary of the players' feelings that we had all been watching for the last 3 weeks. And so we prepared a presentation for the developers. Mind if I read it?
No, go ahead.
And so what we're going to do, we're going to blast this thing on my Discord. We're going to blast this thing out in every line chat and spread it amongst the kingdom, or amongst the game. Blast it on my Discord. I'll share it with Revenge Gamer. I'm not sure if and what he'll do. He's more king of it. It sounds to me, it was really interesting. It sounds to me like there was a Korean player jumped on my Discord last night, introduced himself to me, asked where they could find Revenge Gamer after they had a 20-minute conversation with me, and jumped over to Revenge Gamer site because that player wanted to take this thing and take it cross game.
I gotcha.
Take it to King of Avalon, take it to Z-Day, and they got a new title coming up. And it was actually Revenge's idea to start giving these guys 1-star reviews.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, he's the one that said that, and I don't know if that's the best way to do it, or if it actually worked for KOA. Did it prove a point? Did Rev get any answers from any of the devs or anything like that? I'm not sure of.
Well, here's the thing, and I mean, you've been watching Revenge Gamer's content for a while, and
that's pretty much how I learned GOG. I was watching his because I knew day one it was a reskin of that, so I was just like, I'll just watch this and I'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, you just got to learn the KOA terminology versus the Guns of Glory terminology. So they actually used to have a VIP customer service in King of Avalon, but they shut it down. They're still giving out VIP packs to players that spend, but that hasn't come over to Guns of Glory. It may, after this massive devaluation, they might try starting to reward some of the big spenders. You know, it's like basically like getting a comp at a hotel room in Vegas for spending. So we'll see what happens as a result of that. But they actually, Revenge, and that was one of the reasons why Revenge, you know, started telling people, hey, there's big problems with this game. If you have problems, please bring them to me, and I will pass the message on to the developers. If you are seeing bot farms, if you are seeing players cheating, bring it to me, and I will inform the developers. And so he was using his VIP access and VIP customer service to inform the developers. This is my understanding. I could be 100% completely way off base. But Revenge is in it for the community. Just like you started doing YouTube videos for the community, just like I started doing YouTube videos for the community to help another player. Like, that's one of the most beautiful things.
Yeah, I started this just to help my own clan members. I mean, that's the only reason I even started. It was just easier than me explaining it to someone new every day when it first started. I'm like, you know what, here, just do this. Here, go to this link. I mean, I didn't expect to really get any followers, any views, or anything like that. I figured that I'd get 20 views, 30 views on a listing, and it would just be everybody in my clan, nobody else.
Well, we used to do group calls, and we used to do training calls in our alliance. And so anytime anybody asked about the airship, or asked about expeditions, or asked about catacombs, or asked about their stats, or asked about gems before there was only one kind of gem to get, you know, the strategy stuff, we'd say, hey, get the line app, and let's chat over there. And that way we could share screenshots, and you would be, you know, after chatting with that person, you'd be like, hey, do you mind if I give you a call? And they'd be like, no, give me a call. And it would be so, you know as well as I do, it's so much easier to explain something to somebody in a 5-minute conversation than reading text. And because text can kind of just go in circles, you know, people can't quite get the answer sometimes. Sometimes it's super, super easy. You know, you do a screenshot and you circle it and you post it and stuff like that. But, you know, you explain something to somebody and sometimes something clicks. And for me, when I started doing YouTube, it's basically because I kind of ran out of people to teach in my alliance. And then after I, you know, taught everybody in my alliance, I started bouncing around to the kingdom and start teaching, you know, other players and other alliances stuff. And I was like, heck, I'm going to start doing this on YouTube and start teaching the world.
Yeah, Ham24 just asked, is KOA doing a strike? I don't know if they're doing a strike or not. I mean, it would have been good to link all the games.
That person should jump on Revenge Gamers Discord server and go ask him yourself. Because it sounded like he was kind of interested in, you know, facilitating something like that as well.
Yeah, so Ham, just look up Revenge Gamers YouTube, and he's got his Discord link on there and everything. His channel's right here. He's got a massive channel.
Yeah, he's got over 20,000 followers,
yeah.
I think. All right. So here's a statement, and I'm not sure if we're like an hour and
15 minutes in.
I don't know if anybody will skip to the end of this thing, but I can post some links with the time code of our message to the developers and to our Guns of Glory community. But Fun Plus, your players, they want to talk to you. And those people that have facilitated this movement have been listening to all of these players for the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks, the last 3 months, the last 6 months. And so we have created a statement for all of you that we wanted to deliver to you in person. Here it is. Dear Guns of Glory family, there's been a simmering level of frustration in the community, and many voices have spoken up in the past few weeks, and especially in the last few days. Your leaders of this movement have listened. Today's 30-minute Q&A is not respected to yield meaningful results. Over 200 kingdoms at approximately 2 to 500 players per kingdom have united as a majority to voice their concerns. If they don't agree on all points, most agree that they want better. And most will agree that they will pay for a great gaming experience. And most want to continue to play Guns of Glory. This game is fun, a source of community and social life, but the fun has been replaced with frustration, which can be broken into 5 key areas. These 5 areas affect all 3 levels of your player base: free, mid-spenders, and your whales. A. Misleading marketing. Fake ads on Facebook and numerous other social media sites. Purchasing 5-star reviews for the app through review farmers. And products being marked as a discount in the market stall. And in reality, they are more expensive than the flat rate price in your inventory store. The lack of transparency on pricing causes poor purchasing decisions, like with Retribution Armor, which for me was the end of the game for me. It was it was probably next to this one that just happened for me, and I'm digressing here a little bit. Retribution Armor was probably the worst update this game's ever seen. Would you agree with that?
What about it?
Retribution Armor. Horrible update.
Oh, yeah. Probably one of the, I don't know. This one here was bad. I mean,
you're barely playing, so.
I mean, but even with me barely playing, I mean, this one here was bad. I mean, December's was probably the worst for me, because November I bought all Sun gear. I mean, I wasn't streaming or nothing like that. I mean, but I bought it all whenever it came out and everything else, upgraded it. And then here comes December's update, and it's 50% off.
Right.
I mean,
about that.
I mean, yeah, I'm not streaming it, but I mean, I was still playing. I was still upgrading my guys, trying to keep my stats semi-competable, so whenever I do play, I don't have to come in and drop a ton to catch back up. But then that comes, and it's just like, ouch.
That goes in exactly to the next point here. B, devaluation. Without questions, Guns of Glory is a for-profit business, and nobody begrudges the fact that FunPlus needs to generate income, which in turn drives development and infrastructure improvements in and out of the game. In fact, the community looks forward to new equipment releases. Game updates are always exciting, regardless of players' financial investment in the game. However, the accelerated release of updates, which is now monthly in Guns of Glory, whereas it used to be like every 3 months, every 4 months, coupled with the high cost of new items, has placed the new updates far out of reach for most players. And it's also discouraging even for the bigs. There's no scalable way to obtain them without spending substantial amounts. And this has led to a reduction in spending from large, medium, and small spenders alike. It's discouraging to start spending to obtain the next best thing, only to have a brand new update and new ways to enhance your stats appear in a few weeks. Spacing updates out, especially those big equipment updates, every 2 to 4 months both allows the big players an advantage on dollars spent, but it also encourages players looking to spend $100 to $500 a month to still remain interested and excited about the newest, greatest equipment and gear. It's understood that devaluation of the item prompts additional spending, and there's no question it's the player's choice to make their purchases. but it's insulting to your player base to have items that cost $10,000 to obtain at the beginning of the month be available for $2,000 at the end of the month. Next, C, rollback features. There's been a bunch of features recently removed. All levels were adversely affected by the newly imposed restrictions on the Expedition store. Similarly, there should be higher levels of in-game trading. Expedition
What's up, Jose?
store and Catacombs update to again allow previous level of purchases via a reward system while maintaining the current system of play. And what that will do is that encourages your low to mid spenders to still be able to level up, you know, and get those 5-star, you know, gears easier, to get really good equipment in the Catacombs still, because right now they can't.
Nope.
Most of your mid-level spenders are stuck at a Catacomb level where they're only getting like 1 frag or 10 frags a day. And you know, before Evic, you could like get like a whole bunch of like legit designs in the Catacomb store per day.
That and just the amount of resources you could get. I mean, people would save that to handle their troops and everything else.
Been rolled back.
Yeah.
And reduced huge. And so that has hugely impacted the mid and low spenders' ability to be able to obtain those things. All right, point number 4, D. And we've talked about this a few times during this broadcast. Community feedback and communication with customer service needs to be altered significantly from its current state. We suggest using a dev chat section in Discord that includes ask the devs questions, includes a bug report section, and includes a game balance section. Secondly to that, FunPlus needs to improve their general customer service, as it's completely unusable. Most complaints and issues take months to process.
Play Z-Day.
They take a week to even get a response, and most players get so frustrated from the response that they get, because it's these cut and paste things, that they kind of just stop. And for the players that really pursue it and start arguing and you know, yelling via, you know, in-game emails to customer service, you know, and it'll take months for them to, you know, fix an issue that they've had with a purchase, or, you know, get a refund on, you know, a mistake that they made in game, or fix a bug, or, you know, or something like that. So general customer service needs a massive overhaul. And once they improve that, then we feel that they should include a VIP customer service for high-level players, and that will also remove some of the burden from the regular customer service and keep both player bases much happier. And the last bullet point is the usability issues in game. E, 5th comment. Now this includes bot castles, ghost castles, better streamlined controls, and better bug checking within the game. Many kingdoms are completely overridden by ghost and bot castles. Some of those are level 1 to 5 castles that number in the 1,000 and blanket entire sections of the map. Their presence prevents players from reasonably killing monsters or even finding a space for their own alliance hive. Ghosts and bots and dead castles are used as a weapon and often bear obscene names. They need to be eliminated in bulk by simply removing unbound and any unbound account not in use for 14 days. This low and no-cost approach will open up kingdoms that are now choked and dying, and confirm to players game-wide that Fun Plus on-screen controls for using fragments, delivering resources, repeat buttons, and repeat button, and that doesn't close.
Yeah, the striking Game of War actually worked. That's when I was playing, Nathan. I was actually playing. This was about, I want to say it was 7 years ago, and all the wells in Game of War did a strike. It took about a month. It was actually more than one strike. They actually slowed down the updates for a little bit, but they went back to their normal self.
Yeah, and so they want to be able to have fewer taps to accomplish simple, repetitive tasks, and have new controls that drive users to game features that are buggy. And being able to report bugs in the app itself would be super fantastic. And so we kind of drafted clothing. Thank you to each and every one of you, from Phoenix, Shar, Brospore, Marcus Aurelius, North for the Summer, Eddie Money, all the Guns of Glory monsters, the Guns of Glory Elite, the Guns of Glory Real Time, the players and leaders in 206 kingdoms. We all sincerely enjoy playing this game and hope with a few changes we can continue to play gun with our alliances and friends for a very long time.
Well, that was clearly wrote out.
Thanks very much for your time.
All right, we out, Phoenix?
I am out. You sound like you're about to sleep, my friend.
I'm probably going to jump on the game for a minute and then jump on some Rust. But thanks for everyone that listened in. I mean, it was a long stream, an hour and a half. But make sure to hit that like, hit that sub button. Jump over to Phoenix Rise's YouTube page. Give him a like, give him a follow. And until the next video, guys, later.
Bye.